Hello, everyone. Today I am here with a special guest. Everybody is going to love this. He does have his face covered up because this is some very important stuff he's going to tell us tonight. He is an experiment child from the Philadelphia projects, and his name is Henry. How are you doing, Henry?
I'm doing okay. How you doing?
Real good, real good. It's cold here, but I've been hanging in there.
That's all you can do.
Oh yeah, it's been really cold this year.
Yeah, it's been cold down in this area too.
hmm So how are you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. I've been hoping to get all this out so people knows what's going on and they'll
Nice.
see that all the stuff that you're hearing about in the headlines today, it started back a long time ago and it comes from these projects.
Okay.
Right down from the kids kidnapped, kids being eaten, kids being killed, people being ground up for hamburger.
hmm
Why ain't there no new cemeteries?
hmm
Why would you dig a cemetery, put bodies in when you ain't putting bodies in there?
Yep. hmm
All you have to have is enough room for a tombstone.
Yep.
And it started out with me when I was 3. We moved into a haunted house. We didn't know it.
Okay.
Big house. I got pictures of it. It started out things moving. Then it got worse and worse. There was a man. I thought he was a real man. And he kept trying to coax me into the basement. One day he opened the lock. I followed him. We went into the basement, down behind the dryer. He moved the dryer a little bit. There was a door behind it. I followed him. We went and come out in the field, a 100-acre field, back in the pastures. And my dad and mom and everybody's looking for me. And I got the hell beat out of me for it. Because when we come back, they couldn't see the guy. I could. That's a, people call it a gift. I call it kind of a hindrance. Um, it got to where dishes were being thrown, guns would go off in the house. The exorcist house and this other house would be nothing but a church room compared to this house.
hmm
If we had stayed there longer, it would have killed us off. That its full intention was to kill us off. You would be in there, you'd get scared and run out. You would see these orange eyes, amber colored eyes, out in the timber and out in the fields coming toward the house. For a long time, we wasn't sure what it was, and one day we seen them. Now, a lot of people's going to tell you a thing about a dog man. Well, let me tell you, when these things come up, they do not look like a dog man that you hear about. They look just like a regular wolf, 10 times taller.
hmm
They will stay on all fours until they decide to raise up and show you what they are. So when you got scared in the house from the activity in there, you would go out and these things would be in the yard circling the house. You had no place to go. One
Man.
night we went to the machine shed and we worked, and of course inside of a machine shed there is no windows. It got dark. We decided we was going to make a run for the vehicle. Me and my dad made a run, and dad goes, I hope the hell they're not out there. We made the run and we could hear them coming. We got in the truck, drove home. A few days later, my dad took off on one of his alcoholic binges. Me and my uncle went down there to get feed out of that big machine shed, out of the truck. When we got down there, the door was tore off the hinge and leaning. So we crawled out of the truck because my dad would have beat the hell out of me for not feeding the animals. We went in there. It was quiet. We got our buckets of feed, and on the other side of the combine, there was movement. You could hear it. So we grabbed our buckets and we got out of there. When we got to the truck, we was loading the buckets, and this thing come barreling out of there, hit the door that was leaning, knocked it off the hinge, and then proceeded to growl at us. We left. We told my mom about it, and she goes, "Don't go down there after dark no more." Well, it was daylight when we went down there. We got messing around. Told my dad about it when he come home. You guys are full of it. Wolves don't do that. Dad, these are not wolves like you think. They stood up. We was sitting there. My dad goes, you get in the truck. He had a gun in the truck. We went down there to the machine shed. And he goes, when I go in there and I don't see this wolf standing up, you know what you got coming. I was petrified. I knew he was going to hurt me bad.
Ooh.
My dad kicked the door over, and he was mad because the door was tore up. He blamed it on us. When he went in there was one dog man standing by the workbench. I don't know what it was looking for, but it was there. The other one was on the other side of the big grain truck, and it had the tarp pulled off. My dad come backing out of there. The one by the bench come around to one side of the truck. The other one by the combine come out by the truck, and then come through that doorway, and they just stood there like, come on. I said, well, you going to shoot him or what? He goes, no, let's just go. We started to pull out of there, and these things chased us all the way to the house. And the only thing Dad could think of was my mom and my sister was in the house. The only thing he could think of was drive around and around the house, hoping that he would scare them off so we could get to the house and he could protect my mom. It did not faze these things. They chased us like a bunch of dogs around that house. The next day, because of that incident, he took off again and was gone for a couple of weeks. Me and my uncle goes out to feed the hogs, and the hogs were right beside the house in the old field. We had put up a hot wire and cattle panels and took the tractor and moved beds in there for them and feeders and drinkers for them. My dad come home a couple of weeks. He goes, you guys feed them hogs last night? Sure did. He goes, you did? Yeah. Let's go. I want to see. He wanted to make sure them feeders were full. I was sitting there eating breakfast. He got up, walked outside, and walked back there and come back. He slammed that door, and I was like, uh-oh, we're going to get it. Where'd you guys move the hogs to? They're out there. No, they're not. Didn't you see the pen? There ain't no pen, there ain't no feeder, no nothing. 75 hogs disappeared from the time that we come in to eat breakfast and my dad come in. Just
Oh.
vanished. Couldn't find them. We went back out there, and Dad said, when I get there and find them, you guys are getting it. We walked out of there, and we heard some hogs back off into pasture. The fence was up, the feeders, the waters were there, and the hogs were sitting there, and they was in a daze, just sitting there. Oh my God, my dad like to kill me. There's no explanation how them steel posts got pulled, the hot wire, everything got moved within a matter of minutes. They just vanished from one place and showed up in another.
Wow.
And this wasn't just nighttime you had to fear that place. Then it proceeded to go further. It got more dangerous. We was out working in the shed, and there was me, my uncle, and another uncle. He brought his son out, so me and his son went up to sit on the tractor. And we was little. This tractor, I sit there and watched it. The key turned, the button pushed, the glow light come on because it was diesel. The clutch pushed in, the stick shift moved, and the steering wheel started moving, and that tractor come flying out backward and tore the whole big machine shed door off. My dad, oh, he put me in the hospital.
Wow.
He just knew, and I kept telling him, it did it by itself, Dad. I did not do it. He called the Ford Tractor Company, made them come out and get it. They took it to their main headquarters, and they went through that tractor with a fine-tooth comb. They brought it back, unloaded it in the yard, and told me, start it. I couldn't start it. I wasn't strong enough to push the clutch in. I wasn't strong enough to push the buttons in. They could not figure it out. Dad said, you take that tractor back and bring a brand new one here. There's something wrong with that tractor.
Mm-hmm.
They brought a new one back to us. Well, we was back out there again. Dad heard the grain truck start. Walked outside, and the grain truck not only started, put itself in gear, backed out, and took off down the driveway back into the fields. Dad chased it down, and when he got up there, truck was shut off. Door was wide open. From then on, you had to be careful outside because them vehicles would start and they would chase you. They would literally start and take off. We was back picking corn one time. We got one field done just before dark. Me and Dad, I rode in the combine with him over to the next field, and we parked. We did not pick no corn. We emptied the corn that was in the combine into the truck my grandpa was driving. We left that night, and we seen these orbs and stuff by this pond of ours. So we just kept going, and Grandpa pulled right up to the door, and we got out, went in, and Grandpa went home. Well, next morning, we headed back down there to that field. There wasn't a stick of corn nowhere. There wasn't no corn cobs. There wasn't no nothing. It was just an empty field. My mom come back there and she goes, "My God, look at the sky." It was a yellowish green. Dad called the neighbors and everybody come out there helping us look. We couldn't find no track, no nothing. All of a sudden, it started raining corn. Out of the clear blue, it rained corn. We called the insurance company. They come out and told Dad and all of us, "You guys will go to prison if we find out you're lying." The neighbors all stepped in and said, "Hey, we was over in the field next door watching. There was no corn in that field. And we seen it rain corn. But my dad had hit something in that field the year before. And it turned all the plow blades upward. Dad dug and dug and dug and couldn't find nothing. Don't know what he hit. Tore the hell out of that plow though. Then it goes on and my mom eventually gets scared. And she waited for me and Dad to go back to the field, and she left with my sister and moved in with her mom and dad. Left me there with my dad. My dad was an alcoholic and a beater. Oh. I was laying there on the couch with him, playing with the dogs. And I would take this little wee wheeler that I rode around the circle. When I come past the stairs, I would stop and look up, and this old man was like, "Hey, hey." I look up there. "Yeah, what?" "Tell your dad I want to talk to him." "Okay." So I go around, and my dad was watching the news and sleeping. And I said, "Dad, there's a man who wants to talk to you on the stairs." He goes, "You get your ass out of here and leave me alone. I'm watching TV. I got to see what the weather's going to do." So I went around the corner and I said, "He told me to tell you to go to hell, that he wasn't coming over. He's watching the news." He said, "You go tell him to get his ass over here." I went around, got back to Dad, and I told him, after about the 10th time, my dad grabbed me by the arm, yanked me off that wee wheeler, and he goes, "When I get around the corner and there ain't a guy there, I'm going to beat the hell out of you." He no more than said that, and he looked at them stairs, and he set me down in the chair, and he made the dog sit under the chair. And he goes, "Mister, I don't know who you are, but you bring your ass down here and let's talk about this. How'd you get in my house and what are you doing in here? I'm going to make me a cup of coffee and I'm going to tear you a new one." The guy stood up there laughing. The guy was laughing. We didn't notice because we was looking at the guy. We didn't notice what was going on. Dad took his last drink of coffee, grabbed 3 butcher knives, and started to go up the stairs. The guy was not sitting on the stairs. He was sitting above them. He was not touching the stairs. When my dad went up them stairs, the guy didn't stand up. He spun sideways and went right through the wall. My dad came down them stairs, grabbed me and the dogs, and we hauled ass. We didn't care what was outside. We was getting out of there. Things like this happened all the time. But every time something happened in the house, these dog men thing would show up around the house like, "Come on, send them out to us." They never hurt us, but it was the idea. We didn't know what the hell they were doing, what they were going to do to us. Mm-hmm. You wasn't safe in the house and you wasn't safe outside. I don't know what was causing these truck combines, tractors starting up and driving. They would. Eventually, it got so bad that one day my dad took off again on one of his drinking sprees, and me and my mom was there, and my uncle and my sister. These guys come back with the sheriff, driving big black cars, black windows, and the sheriff car was ahead. The driveway was 1.25 miles long. They come back there, and my mom grabbed a shotgun and walked outside. "What do you guys want?" "You get one toy per kid. You get a change of clothes, and then you get your ass out of here. The sheriff looked at Mom, and Mom knew him, and he goes, there ain't nothing I can do about it. This is just what you got to do. They didn't give us a ride. We started getting a car, our car, and they said, no, everything belongs to us. You get out and you walk. Well, what we were supposed to do when we get to the end of the lane to the main road? Walk. They followed us at gunpoint to the end of the road. I don't know what they were doing, why they confiscated it, unless they was wanting to study it. Then they let us come back about 6 months later and move back in. They did this to us 3 times. On the third time, we didn't go back. We moved away from there. This house kept trying to kill us off. We moved to another place, and things around me kept happening. Things would shake, things would move, things would disappear from one place, show up in another. Keys would go missing, show up someplace like the refrigerator or inside the oven. So my dad, he goes, we got to keep this quiet. So every night he would walk past down the hallway, past my bedroom, and he would come in and make sure I was in bed. One night, I thought I was having a nightmare. I went in and went to sleep, and I kept dreaming I was back in that house being chased. My dad went past the room, and the covers wasn't on the bed. They was on the floor. I was not in bed. They went frantic. My dad and Mom was trying to figure out where I had went just in a matter of seconds. Dad said, I have an idea. Load the dog, grab the gun, we're going to the farm. They drove like 20 miles to get to this farm. Yeah, I was there. I don't know how I got there. I was in there and I was being chased. And my dad come in and see me through the windows and come running in there and caught me on my last lap around, yanked me out of there, and he goes, in the truck, we were sitting there, and he goes, I'm going to tell you something right now, boy. Stop this shit. Had we not found you or realized where you might have went, start telling what would have happened to you. Stop this. And I'm like, I can't control it. I don't know what happened. Did somebody take me up there and drop me off? Did I do it? I don't know. So then it come time for me to start school. And I was told, you keep your mouth shut. You don't be doing no stupid shit. That's what he called the supernatural stuff, stupid shit. Don't be doing this stuff at school. I know things happen at home. You don't want to be known as a freak, do you? I was like, no. So my first day at school went beautiful. Come time for first grade, I went into first grade. I was there for 2 weeks. I met these two kids. We become good friends. Went home that night. My dad goes, hey, got to talk to you at the kitchen table. I was like, uh-oh. So I went down at the kitchen table, and he goes, you're too little to be in school. You're just too tiny. We need to take you out and let you grow 1 year. Now we're going to the principal's house tonight at 9 o'clock. Okay. So we went there. They was discussing it, and the principal was a big, heavy set woman, and she told me to sit on her lap. So I did. And she goes, honey, she said, you know I love you. But she said, you're just so tiny, I can't let you go to school. The girls are carrying you around, going to drop you. Okay. I was sitting there eating cookies and drinking milk at her kitchen table while they was talking some more. I started getting tired. My mom and dad carried me out to the car. Now, I heard they was taking me out of school. I was not going to school the next day. So I get home. I go to bed. The next morning, what I thought was the next morning, I get up to go to school. Or get up, because I didn't think I was going to school. My mom goes, get your ass out of bed. You got to go to school. I was like, wait a minute. Last night, you guys decided I wasn't going. I just got up because I wanted to see what was going on. She goes, you're going to school. Get ready. I'm taking you as I'm going to work. Okay. I go to school, and I get out in front of the school, and she goes, well, go on in. Well, I seen these kids that I started in first grade with. So I walked up to them and started trying to talk to them, and they wouldn't talk to me. It's kind of like I had the plague. So I just followed them when the 8:30 bell rang. I followed them to class. They went into the 6th grade classroom. I followed them. And they all kept talking amongst themselves. You don't belong here. Yeah, I do. I started out of school with you guys. No, you need to go. The teacher come in. What are you doing in here? I said, well, this is my classmates. I followed them. I thought I knew where they was going. They was like, no, you belong back in 1st grade. Somehow I lost 5 years. All these other kids that was my age. Somehow that time had slipped. I lost 5 years. And you talking about being the cockroach under the microscope? That was me. Everybody was pointing and laughing and talking, wondering what's wrong with this kid. And I never did really get to make friends with the kid I was in class with, but those 2 kids I met, they ended up being at these projects that started shortly after this. I got a call one time to go to the office. I went to the office and my mom picked me up. We're going to take you up to the carnival and we're going to take you to Dairy Queen. Cool. I'm all in for ice cream. I got in the car and went willingly. We went to a clinic. She took me down the hallway. The room was dark. She opened the door and pushed me in. They shut the door behind me. All these people tackled me, strapped me down to a chair. They started poking every finger on my hand, both hands. Then they started in taking my shoes and socks off, and they did that and put the blood in the tube. Each toe, each finger had a tube, numbered. This went on until I was in like 5th grade.
Jeez.
5 days a week. I couldn't even write with a pencil. I had gloves that I wore because my fingers were constantly blue and bleeding. And I had the kid that sat beside me that was taking my notes and all that for me. And when I went home, my mom was writing down my homework because I couldn't use my hands because they were like blisters. They just constantly bleeding from these holes. And they used it looked like a razor blade, but at the end was a point. And it's like what they used to use when they for a blood test for a marriage, but they would stab me in each digit of my hand and toes. And here's something that maybe somebody can understand it. I don't. I was never allowed to go barefooted. I was never allowed to go without shoes, not even in the house. Don't know what that means, but a lot of people say that's kind of strange. My sister got to.
To the time
I
you
was never.
to the time you went to bed, Henry?
Yeah,
So you had to wear your shoes until you went to bed, or
yeah,
and then you could take them off to go to bed, and then you had to put them on as soon as you got up out of bed.
yeah. They sat right beside my bed.
Jeez.
Basically, the only time I could take them off is either in bed or to take a bath. But as soon as I got out of the bathtub, I had to put my shoes back on. I
Wow.
don't know what that was about. What it was.
Did your feet look normal? I mean, to you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My feet were normal. The only problem is my feet are narrow. I got women feet. They're narrow, small feet.
Okay.
And as I went along, the only thing they would allow me to wear was cowboy boots.
Hmm.
I never got to wear tennis shoes except for during PE time. The rest time, cowboy boots. That's it. They told me it was because I had weak ankles. I don't remember ever having weak ankles. There was never no doctor that diagnosed that.
Your ankles never hurt or nothing?
No,
Okay.
no, it was. I never went to a doctor about that, so I didn't understand. They just told me. My mom and dad told me it's because you got weak ankles and weak legs.
Hmm.
What no doctor told me that.
Mhm.
But it's weird because after a while, I caught on to what they were doing. No matter what they told me, I knew they was taking me there. The same people that was doing this is the same 2 doctors that delivered me. All the way through all of this, these 2 doctors was involved with all this. Even after they sold their clinic practice, the one kept an office there, a quiet office. He didn't see patients there, but if you wanted to talk to him, he had an office with his name on it. Why would the doctor have an office that he wants to hide? What was he hiding from? I don't know. Um, there was other things that would happen. Like my dad would take me horseback riding, and there was people that he missed that lived up the road, and it could be a lot of different people that he would miss. And he would have me ride a horse up there with him. I sat in the front, he sat in the back, and we'd ride up there, and the house is empty. And you'd look again, and you'd see the people sitting on the porch. We'd ride across the highway up to these people's house, sit there and talk with them. Hell, I'd go up there and eat candy and stuff. We'd leave, go home. The next day, my mom took me uptown, and we went past her. And I said, "Hey," I said, "you know such and such that lives there? I was here yesterday. We was sitting there having talking to him on the porch." "No, you ain't. That house has been empty. Those people have been dead for years." "No, they ain't."
Wow.
We walked. My mom told me, she said, "I'm gonna knock the shit out of you." She pulled in, and she goes, "Show me." We walked up there. There wasn't no furniture in the house, but my mom found a piece of a ring that I had been carrying was on the floor on the porch, and there was horse tracks in the yard.
Hmm.
She didn't know what to think. She didn't let me hang around with my dad no more. We didn't get to go horseback riding no more, and that's when Dad kind of shied away from me a little bit. And then there was another time that me and him went someplace, and I kept telling him about this house. I said, "This house," I said, "I keep seeing it." I said, "I keep waking up in this yard." He goes, "Let me see the bottom of your feet." And one night when I got up, I showed him. My feet were dirty. We went up to this house, and there was my footprints in that yard, in the rain, in that yard. My dad made me go apologize to those people, and then he made me tell them that I was a stalker, a window peeker, a peeping Tom.
Oh man.
He put me back in the truck with him after he beat the shit out of me on their porch, and we left. And he goes, "You only do that with me. You do not go off on your own like that and do that. Do you know where you're at?" "No, I just know it's a house. I keep dreaming about it. That's when I dream about it, I end up there." He goes, "So don't go back." So years passed, and eventually I went back there again and took him back there, and I told him the whole story about the place. Dude, he broke down and bawled like a baby. And we went to Florida one time to see my sister graduate, and we was going through Louisville, however you say it. And Dad said, "Here, I want to trade drivers. You drive because I'm tired." We left when we got off work. Dad crawled on the passenger side and went to sleep. The fog rolled in, and I started driving. He goes, "Now remember, 76 truck stop, pull in. Wake me up." I said, "Okay." He said, "That's the first billboard you'll come to." Okay. I didn't turn off of this interstate. I did not turn off of it. There's a lot of road construction, and I weaved it like it showed to do.
Yep.
I seen the 76 truck stop. I took the exit, turned into the truck stop. There was one trailer truck. Inside, there was a trailer truck driver in there. There was a waitress and a cook. We walked in. Dad said, "You gotta go to the bathroom?" I said, "Yeah." So I went to the bathroom. When I come back out, dude, I seen that look. And he started in, "You little S and S, where'd you take me? Where'd you turn off at?" I said, "I didn't. I didn't turn off nowhere. Except here." He pulled out a road atlas. The waitress come out, the truck driver come over there, and he goes, "Boy, I hate to tell you, but ain't no way you could have got from where your dad fell asleep to where you are right now. There ain't no road that brings you here. You're 50 miles away from where you was at. How did you get here? We would like to know that there ain't no road here from where you was at. You had to go plumb into Florida, moved over, and then come back up." I did not. We went back, got in the car, pulled back in the interstate, and my dad said, "I'm driving." He started driving. We thought we was 4 days ahead of time, that we was gonna have plenty of time to just lay out on the sand and just relax before the graduation. When we got there, we put our stuff in the motel room, and the phone was ringing, and we had to get back in the car and get over to the graduation place because we lost 4 days. 4 days were gone. And I ain't the only one that's happened to down there in Kentucky. There's a lot of people that's happened to where they've lost time on that area. Now, there's a reason for that. There's a big reason for it. What you and everybody's been told about the Bermuda Triangle, wad that up and throw it out the window. They want to tell you it's all out in the water, except for at Fort Lauderdale. No, it comes inland. Ask yourself this question and look it up. Virginia Beach. I worked there and I lived there for quite a while. In Virginia Beach, if you're a person that moves there and you live along the beach, they tell you when you want to go for a little dip at night in the summer, you take your shoes off and you put them at the end of the boardwalk facing the ocean. When you come back to your house, put your shoes back on, or if you have to go to the bathroom, turn your shoes toward the house. That means you went in the house. So when Shore Patrol comes along, they see the shoes, they know which direction you went. Because there's a lot of disappearances in Virginia Beach. People go missing. You'll see them 1 minute and poof, they're gone.
Jeez.
So the Bermuda Triangle ain't where they say it is. It's a lot bigger. A lot bigger. And I don't know what the mystery is with it. I do know there's things that goes missing there. But explain this one to me. Here's one that I want somebody to explain it to me in a way that I can understand. Explain to me how a ship leaves Virginia Harbor. We got trouble in the Middle East. We got trouble in the Middle East. Please get over there. In less than a week, those ships are sitting over there in the Far East.
Yeah.
How are they getting from Virginia Beach to there that fast?
Yep.
It's because they ain't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's there's a lot of mysteries in this world that can't be explained.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff and was showed a lot of stuff, but I still don't have all the answers. I don't. I wish I did. When they stuck me in those projects, dude, they would send us to. I always went back in time. They never let me go forward in time, and I didn't want to because I've seen some of the mishaps with that. It ain't the place you want to be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because of all these different gifts, if you want to call them that, they used me a lot of times in this chair. They would put a helmet on my head, and it had these wires hooked to it. There was wires that was bigger than a full-grown man's arm to this chair that went outside up to a tower. Now, some of the crazy stuff they was doing, they'd put two kids up there in a chair, run it from this, what do they call it, a satellite. They'd run it from it to their chair. From their chair, it come into the building, down into the basement where I was at in that chair. They was telling us it was for enhancement, but every one of those kids they put outside out there to enhance me come back with their minds fried, or they was just chunks.
Jeez.
And I ain't talking about 440 volts. Try a little higher. It had a lot of side effects on me. My hair is one color, but when it's cut and hits the ground, it's a total different color. My eyes change colors constantly.
And that's still to this day, right?
To this day. There's some other side effects, but I won't say that on YouTube. I talked to you about it earlier and tried to explain it. But let me put it this way. It can take a kid that's 6 years old and enhance him to a 20-year-old. Not physically, as in looking at him, but it charges your body. Electricity never goes away. It's always energy. So that still affects me today. My dad took full advantage of that. My dad was prostituting me out to barflies. I'd end up in Arizona, Texas, My mom had no clue until I'd show up. My dad was getting money and beer for that. Now, who turned him on to that game? I don't know. But he figured he was going to get him a slice of the pie. Then they was using me. My grandma lost two boys and two cousins of mine.
Henry, when they had you hooked up on that chair
Yeah.
and all that, when do you do you recall like afterward if you felt if you had a lot of interactions or anything afterward?
Um.
Like
The
like
one thing that,
like the energy built your frequency up and you were having a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
interactions afterward and stuff. Okay.
Okay, just imagine that you're lifting. I tell you to take 100-pound weight and lift it 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden, I hand you a napkin, and your hand goes way up because you're used to lifting that weight.
Yep.
Well, after the charge, you would have that same effect. So a lot of times they had to carry you or assist you back to the room because you couldn't walk right. You couldn't. You was misjudging everything
Okay.
because of the charge, electricity charge,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had to be careful. They locked you into a room, and there was a dim light in there, but you was locked in there. There was a reason for that, and it goes back to what my dad was doing with me with these women. If they didn't lock you up, you would literally go look for somebody to mate with.
Okay.
And it wasn't like, hey, wow. No, you was like a rabid dog that hadn't ate for 3 days. You had to have it.
Mm-hmm.
And they would bring women and men prostitutes in so we wouldn't kill each other
Mm-hmm.
and them. And it took a lot of training in order to put that under control. And, a lot of people say, well, my God, he's a wild dog. He should be put down. Why? I ain't hurting nobody. I'm just telling my truth.
Yep.
Now, what these other people was doing,
And
I
it's
don't know.
and it's what they did to you
Yeah,
with
it
the
ain't what I was
project.
doing.
So it's them doing that to you, and then you know what I mean. So it's not yourself.
No, and you can control it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like an urge that you want to smoke a cigarette, but just time that times 20.
Yep.
And you just condition yourself after you're away from that kind of stuff. You just condition yourself that, nah, I'm going to be a good person. I try not to hurt nobody, but if somebody tries to hurt me, yeah, I'm going to fight back. Anybody will.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I ain't harmed nobody, and I don't try to harm nobody. I don't go looking to harm nobody.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things that these projects, they were sending us back in time to get things, to bring things back in order to keep the flow going.
Yep.
And the flow is the government, your president, your governors. Um, there's a lot of these people that a lot of people don't realize that some of these people had people that was in politics quietly, and that's how they become presidents.
Jeez.
And they stay in power because they're told, you go to this place, you follow this regiment, you'll be the next president. And it happens. It has for years. It ain't going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the Philadelphia Project broke down off into several different groups. The Phoenix, which I was in, Rainbow, I was in, and that had to do with going and locating objects, bringing objects back. It also had to deal with traveling through hyperspace in order to get to one place or another. But the thing that people don't understand is they need to understand this because this is where you're going to figure out where the dogmen, Bigfoot, shadow people is going to, ghosts are going to. The dimensions are only like an inch apart. Yeah, you have to go through the portal, but they're almost on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to travel to it. That's the thing. You have to travel to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go through it, basically you're going through and coming back. because that realm is just like an inch or two above ours. So it's not hard for these things to come through them. Used to, there was natural portals. The government and that CERN opened them up. Hitler opened them up when he was in power.
Mm.
And we was like, oh wow, he opened it up 2 foot. Let's open it up 5.
Oh yeah, let's take
And
it
they
to
opened
another
it up.
level. Yeah.
You know, I got pictures, and people don't believe this. In case you don't know what a Horton is,
Mm-hmm.
you know what a Horton's plane is? Jet is?
Mm-mm.
Ever heard of one?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you'll know what this term is. World War II. All we had was prop planes. The Germans had jets, and they were called the Horton.
Mm-hmm.
You would also know them as they called them by another name, Foo Fighters.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It was the same thing. Now let me tell you something. I have pictures of those, a whole flock of them. And you know what the government says? We only have 2, and they're just all tore apart, just in little pieces. They're full of shit. Let me tell you something about this jet. There's a reason why they called it a Foo Fighter. You know these orb things you see and these UFOs you see, how they surround these jets and they bounce around them and take off?
Yep.
These Hortons do the same thing.
Oh wow.
That's why they told everybody we only found pieces. I can show you a picture and I'll send you a picture. There's a whole fleet of them, not far from where I'm at.
Wow.
And they keep them because not even the stealth can touch one of these bad boys.
Yeah, you're right. Oh man.
These things maneuver like you have never seen, like a UFO.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way they maneuver.
Jeez.
That helmet they put on me that had the blacked out visor, I didn't need to see with it. That projected everything right there, just like it was. I was seeing it in real time.
Oh wow.
So going through that spiral, I could see everything. I could see different times as you would go and pass. Like it'd be like walking down a hallway with doors, and you was pulled to a certain place in order to show up, like at 1882. Um, you would go past, but you would see all these different spaces in time and see what was happening at that exact second. And it was creepy. I mean, there was some weird crap that you seen going past those doorways, but it was only for a split second, just a quick flash. Like there was one place we went through, and I remember seeing that the Americans lost World War II, the Germans won. That was creepy. And if there was something that I couldn't lift, then I would have it relocated to a place. Then I would send back and tell them, here's where it's at, here's the coordinates. They just suck it through like a vacuum cleaner. The Spear of Destiny, United States has that. How did they know what I was doing so I didn't just decide to run off in 1882 and hide from them? I
Yeah.
had a chip. They put a chip in me, plus they're using that thing that I went and had brought back to
How
watch
big is the
me.
chip? Do you know?
It's probably about the size of maybe like a quarter, an
Like
inch by an inch.
about inch by inch. And
Yeah,
do you know where it's at in your body?
yeah. It's located in my near my organs.
Okay.
There's no way to get it out. You can get it out. Kill me to get it out.
And you also said the chip heals you as well.
Yes, it
Okay.
does heal me, but it also has plays other things.
Okay.
You know, it probably maybe has something to do with my hair and eye color changing. I don't know, but I
Location
do.
maybe? Do they track
Location,
you
yeah,
or
they can track you.
okay.
With the chip, though, they can't see you. All they know is it's like a blip.
Okay.
They know about where you're at within 10 foot.
Okay.
It's like a tracking collar for a dog,
Got you. So they can
but it
track you
heals.
down to find you.
Yeah, in case they need to locate me.
Ooh, and how long you been out of this, Henry?
I got the heck out of there when I was probably about 22, 23, but I'm still being followed.
So
It can be a,
you
it can
took
be fit.
you yeah, you took off, you stopped going back and got married and disappeared on them, or
Yeah, I went to the
no?
service for a while
Okay,
and thought, okay, I'm going to learn how to take care of myself. And I conned them into keep using me.
okay,
I would serve you better here.
okay.
They let me go there. They let me be trained.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was my calling card. And then, like I said, years had passed. I finally settled down here, got married, and but I'm still being monitored. I'm still being followed. I can't even go to a dentist. That the dentist don't get a phone call. Um, it can be 50 below zero here, and you'll see people jogging by here at nighttime, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Go out here and sit in the field and sit there and watch, and you'll see them with flashlights. And all of a sudden, you'll see them turn the flashlight off. Here come a car and pick them up.
What were you were talking to me about when you go to the dentist that they get the phone call and then they're not allowed to X-ray you or
Yeah, well, what it
okay.
was, one dentist said, I won't operate on you. I won't cut on you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to send you to a professional because I'm not that good. This guy's a professional. So I went there, and the little paper that I took with me, I read it before I handed it to the doctor. And it said, do not x ray. Take out these two teeth. So I handed it to him. He goes, I don't care what they say. I'm doing an x ray. I want to know what I'm getting in for. Well, they sent me in there to the x ray. And this girl took me in, done the x rays. And she goes, oh my God, you got two of them that went right through the nerve. I don't know. I'll let you talk to the doctor. I come out and that doctor turned around. He was on the phone. He was, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I promise, ma'am. I will be in contact with you. I'll make sure nothing happens to that man. I promise.
Hmm.
He hung up that phone and he goes, what the hell are you and who the hell are you?
Oh shit.
I know you ain't the president's son because I've seen them kids. Who are you? Where do you come from? What are you? Why did you choose my place? I said, I didn't. They sent me here. I got a referral.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, I don't know who the hell you are, but I just got a phone call and my life was threatened. Anything
Mm.
happens to you, anything, I'm a dead man. Yeah, I know.
So he doesn't even want to touch you.
No,
But he has to.
he has to. He ain't
So
got no
it's like,
choice.
oh, fuck.
Yeah, he's between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to do nothing now because he's being threatened, but then he's being threatened, so he has to.
Yeah, he ain't got no choice.
Yeah, he ain't got no choice, man.
So he done me right, and I left. Then I had to go back. It was probably a couple months later for another problem. And this time, when I called, my wife called, made the appointment. They give us an address. It was not the same building. It was not in the same location. It was a total different building. So we went there. My wife carries a 45 in her purse. You couldn't see it, couldn't tell it's even in there. I said, you got that 45? Yeah. I said, okay, that's all I need to know. Do not leave my side. We walked in there. They called me back, and I told my wife, come on. It was the same doctor, but the nurses were not the same nurses. It wasn't even the same building. We went in, and he goes, who is this? Well, that's my wife. Oh, okay. Exactly just who the hell are you and what are you? What are you?
He's doing
I
it
was like,
again, yeah.
dude, you're still stuck on that? So then he kept asking me weird questions. They tried for quite a while to put me into twilight. The time before that, it took them 2 hours to twilight me. The nurse that was in there the second time, she was like, so why are you so nervous? I thought she was talking to me, and I was like, I ain't nervous. I said, I don't like needles. I said, but that's fine. The doctor wouldn't answer. And finally, he turned around and he goes, do you know what he is? Do you know who he is? I got threatened. I don't know who he is, but he must be somebody important. So I got to take my time to do things right, because if I mess up, I'm a dead man.
Yeah.
And the lady still didn't understand. We left. And I tell every place I go, just do your job. If you can't do it, fine, tell me, send me someplace else. Don't try to hurt me. Because that one dentist sent me to this guy, hoping the guy would paralyze my face by cutting through that nerve. It was to shut me up.
Oh shit.
Now, how'd they know I was there? Easy. My name shows up on the computer, a blip goes off. They're sitting there waiting. And I
Oh.
told him, I said, if she called and threatened you, those people ain't very far. They can pick you off in a heartbeat. I said, so just don't hurt me. I said, why was he wanting to paralyze my face? He goes, I don't know, but I'm calling that son of a bitch up and I'm having a word with him. He knew that would do that. And he said, that's why he didn't want me to do the x rays. I said, did that go out on the computer? And he goes, yeah, on your medical records. And I said, well, that's how you got pinged. And that's why you got the phone call. I said, you can bet he got a phone call. That's why he sent me down here.
Wow.
I said, I am still an asset. They're still watching me. They're still monitoring me. They know what I do. And I'm going to tell you right up straight and forward. I told my wife when I come down here, I said, you know, they got me on a watch list. I do anything stupid, they can kill me on the spot. She thought I was joking. She pulled it up and found it. She goes, you mean tell me that if an officer shows up and you walk out there even just looking a little bit threatening, they can just shoot you? I said, they've tried it before. They ain't going to quit. So I don't go nowhere without my wife. Most times I wear a body camera. If I go out in the yard and do work, I take radio with me, and she has a radio, and I have cameras all the way around my house because I can't afford to get in trouble, go to jail, because I won't make it there and I won't make it out. I have a hard enough time trying to go to a doctor. If I had to go to a doctor in a hospital and spend the night, my wife would have to stay with me because I won't be there the next day. I'll just be nothing but cannon fodder.
Yeah, they want to erase you from all the stuff you know now.
Well, they took everything away from me. I can't have a banking account.
Wow.
I can't have a fishing license. Oh, I can vote, but I can't do anything else anybody else does unless I want to sneak around and do it. They've taken everything away from me to try to get rid of me, just like Bob Lazar. They
Yeah.
done the same thing to me. Right now, I ain't even listed as a dead person. I don't exist.
Oh wow.
My social security number, it's just a number. It don't do nothing like it does for you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't draw nothing.
Oh.
I basically, when the
You,
cops
you you
pulled,
can't draw Social Security even.
no, I don't exist.
Yeah, you don't exist. You're basically dead. Wow.
Yeah, I was a person that never was born.
Wow.
And it all goes back to them projects. They just knew, because there was one instance where I had to go deliver some paperwork, and it was in a great big box. So I took a dolly cart and I went to this place. Now this is where it gets tricky. I went to this facility. They give me this card, have my picture on it, and I was supposed to swipe it to get into this door. And come to find out, this place was a place where they had the criminally insane people. Now this is during the projects.
Okay.
I go up like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, slide my card, walk in. I'm following this paper that has a diagram, following it to this room. I made a wrong turn. I swiped the door, went in, and the door shut behind me with my cart in there with me in my box. I couldn't get out. The door wouldn't open. There wasn't no slider. The door in front of me shut. Now I'm in a 3 by 3 room. I'm looking through this slots, and there's a hallway, and the lights come on. I heard a clang, and then a beep. These doors started opening. Well, I knew that was the criminally insane people, is what I thought, because I was in an insane place
Yep.
delivering paperwork. I didn't know the some bitches sent me there to get me killed. I squatted down because I remember what they told me. If a door's open or there's slots, do not get close to them slots. They will reach out and kill you.
Yep.
So I squatted, and I'm still watching. Out of these doors stepped a dog man out of each door. I was like, holy shit, I'm going to die. The next buzzer was a green light. That door opened.
Did they have that look like they were mad and gonna get you?
Yeah, they was on the hunt.
Okay.
It was like coon dogs act, like when you get ready, you put them in the dog box and you travel to where you're going, you open the door, and they're all giddy.
Yeah, they're ready to. Yeah.
Yeah, they're ready to kill. This one did not kill, did not try anything. He would not come out. He peeked out, but he didn't come out. The others come out, snarled, and then went on out.
But you also were trained not to fear, right?
Yeah, don't show any fear, don't scream, don't holler, just try to be invisible.
Because
Blend into
they
your
thrive off
atmosphere.
that fear.
Yeah. This lady come and I asked her, there was a lady and a guy, and they beeped in. They said they're talking to me, and I said, "What the hell? What is these things doing here? This is a mental facility. They got to eat. Who gives a shit about the people who lives here? They don't mean nothing to society. They go missing. That's because they went outside when they were supposed to be sleeping, and they just walked off.
Yeah, it became missing.
No, and most of them didn't have families that cared.
Mm-hmm. That's what
This one,
that's what they
yeah,
use as the cover up. Oh, they
yeah,
just walked out and they're missing. We don't know.
yeah. They must have took off, got in somebody's car, and went to another state.
Jeez.
Hell no, they didn't. They got killed right there. They got ate. They let them out as a patrol to patrol the grounds. This place is like 150 acres, all fenced in with chain link fence and razor wire. And they turn them things out at night, just hoping one of them people will escape. Or somebody will climb over the fence to go aggravate the crazy people, and they get eaten. So what? We didn't know who they were. What was they doing here anyway?
So
We
they're
don't know where they
housing
went.
these dogmen up in there.
Yeah, in the basement.
And these dogmen, me and Henry were talking earlier, not on video, about there's different dogmen out there, and there's you want to explain that, Henry? I'll let you explain it better.
Yeah, there's two types of dog man. There's the ones that's natural.
Mm-hmm.
They've been here before man.
Okay.
A lot of people won't tell you that. They was here before man.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones are basically the same thing, but they've been tampered with.
Okay.
And they've been genetically refined to be bigger, meaner. And when you hear a story about people said, well, I hid from one, he didn't find me. They're full of it. You don't believe me? Come to my house and I'll turn my dog loose and we'll see if he'll find you. He'll find you.
You got a point there, man.
He's going to sniff you out and he
Yeah,
can see in the dark.
all dogs will do
Yeah.
that. They know exactly where you're at. If you go run under a trailer, they're gonna go right after you.
Yeah, they're going to yank you
Yeah,
out of
there's
there.
no hiding from a dog.
No. The
So,
military uses them.
mm-hmm.
We used them. In there, they would clear out a place, tell the regular troops to get out of there. Well, we didn't find what we was looking for. Get out of there. Then we would come behind. And they would turn these bad dogs loose. And let me tell you something. They slaughtered everything they come to. They didn't even miss an ant.
Jeez.
They just come in and just tear that place apart. You was hiding in a well, you got yanked out and killed.
Yeah.
Nothing got by these things. They they would put a shark to shame.
Mm-hmm.
Because a shark, as long as you stay out of the water, it can't bother you.
Yeah.
But you go in the water, jump in the lake when one of these things are after you. They'll go right in after you.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't scared of nothing. And a lot of these people that says, hey, I shot one, and he got up and come running. They can be killed, but let me tell you something. Anybody ever heard of deer fever?
Mm.
Buck fever? Your eyes can play tricks on you. You can say, oh my God, I hit him. I hit him. Dude, if you're just a hair's width off on your sighting, when you shoot at one of them, just say it's 50 foot from you. That bullet might, by the time it gets to him, might be 5 foot away from him.
Oh.
Because you're shaking and you don't realize you're shaking. That's called buck fever.
Yeah, I had a guy I interviewed. His wife was attacked, and you probably heard the story. He got out of the truck and went at that dog man, and he shot 4 times, and he said that thing didn't. It no blood squirted out. He said that it didn't even really phase him, and then he said the last shot he shot up by the neck. He said that's when he let go of the wife, and he just walked into the woods and started knocking trees down like he was pissed off.
Yeah, that, you know, a lot of people don't think about that. It's one thing if you're setting up in a tree and you shoot at a deer.
Yep.
But you look up, there's a lot of cases where people that's hunted for years,
Mm.
the deer looks them in the eyes and they get buck fever and they start shaking.
Yep.
They pull the trigger and the deer just laughs at them and walks off
Yeah.
because they missed.
Yeah, and they
And they,
missed.
yeah, they
They,
don't
they
realize they missed.
but they thought they were dead on it.
Yeah,
So it's yep. Mm-hmm.
because a dog man can be killed with guns.
Okay.
Okay, here's,
It can.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Is
it
it a
can be
certain
killed just like anything
is
else.
it a certain bullet? Is it a silver bullet? Is it
Nope.
okay?
You can shoot one with a 22 rifle and kill that thing dead on a doornail.
Okay. How do you what you got to hit them in a certain spot?
Not really. The main thing is do not try to shoot one of them in the head.
Okay.
Do not. Have you ever shot a hog in the head? I have. That
Okay.
bullet will ricochet off there and that hog will just shake his head at you. Yeah, he'd be bleeding,
Okay.
but you won't penetrate that skull.
Okay.
A dog man has a thicker skull than normal anything else.
So you basically would need like a military high powered rifle to get him?
No,
No?
no. Just don't shoot him on top of the head. Don't shoot him from like the eyes above.
Okay.
Do not try to get a brain shot. You will not do it. All you do is piss it off.
Yeah, piss it off. You're right.
You try to find. I always like to say that you try to find like where the organs are.
Okay.
If you can't breathe, you can't fight.
Yep.
If you hit that thing in the lungs, you can have a hard time breathing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But another thing too, the normal ones, they ain't above attacking if you piss one of them off.
Okay.
But the thing is, when you're out there in the woods, unless you know for a fact, you hear that clank, like a creep feeder, a
Okay.
noise. When a hog goes up to eat in the creep feeder, they raise this lid, and when they pull their head out, it goes clang clang.
Like a metal.
Yeah,
Okay.
all these people talk about these metal doors they hear. That's what it sounds like as a creep feeder.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, here these things come. Dude, they're being turned loose. The good ones out there, don't aim a gun at one of them. I don't care if you got to poop your pants. Do not aim a gun at one of them. They will make mincemeat of you.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your eye on them. Don't turn your back on one. Walk off and keep an eye on it. And 9 times out of 10, the normal one won't do nothing. He's just curious.
Okay.
You're in his space. He's protecting something.
Yep.
There's something there that he is protecting, whether it's breeding territory, feeding territory, or there's something there that he's a guard dog, basically.
Okay.
He wants you out of his area. So he may snarl, he may growl, grunt at you, fake charge you. You don't have much to worry about unless you aim a gun at one of them. They do know what a gun is. Otherwise, you can get away from that situation by common sense. Don't aim a gun at it. Do not challenge it.
Yep.
For God's sake, don't challenge one.
Because they know.
You will not. Yeah, you will not make it. It's like don't challenge a pit bull.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't burrow up at it and jump forward at it.
Yeah, and they know how
No.
you're looking at them. So like
Yeah.
it's like a telepathy thing, to where if that dog's looking at you, and then you just go, or and he knows, and then he's on you. You
Yeah,
know what
he's
I'm
going to do the
saying?
same thing to you, but he's going to attack.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen dogs watch people, and then the person just, does something stupid, like, you know what I mean? Hey, dog, like that, and that,
Yeah,
wham, that dog gets him. It's
yeah,
like,
you know, you're done.
hey, mm-hmm.
But yeah, the good ones, the natural ones, I'll go ahead and tell you how this all come about. In the projects, we did work with aliens. Yes, there was dogman involvement. I was told straight from the horse's mouth. We created those things because we needed miners. We created Bigfoot first to do the mining.
Okay.
Eventually, Bigfoot decided to revolt. We ain't working. Okay,
I'm
when
gonna
you
go
got
off with
somebody,
my family and raise them and get away from you.
yeah,
Yeah, we're
I'm gonna
done
go
with
out there and
this.
flirt with that good-looking Bigfoot
Yeah,
over
well, I'm
there.
not. I'm not working for these mother. I'm gone. There's a whole world here. I'm gone.
Heck yeah, man, I'm gonna go out and eat.
Mm-hmm.
So, same thing. Look what man has done. Man keeps a guard dog for what reason? To keep
Yep.
people out of his house.
Oh yeah. Yep.
They created a dog man to enforce Bigfoot to work.
Okay. Yep.
That's why in the land between the lakes, if you see a dog man, you will not most times see a Bigfoot there. They'll be at the other end.
Yep.
Now there is cases where they have seen Bigfoot and
Together.
Dogman working together or fighting against each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They ain't no different than human. The beings that created these things, the aliens that created them, finally found a better hairless monkey. Humans.
Mm-hmm.
We become smarter. We would do what they wanted us to, not ask questions. But they screwed up. When they created woman, man was like, hell with this noise. He revolted.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to breed. I want
Yeah.
to love her. I want to. She's beautiful. I want to. Yeah. You're right. Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things, okay, then you ain't going to do the work. We ain't going to give you fire. Bye. And let me tell you something, these aliens are not from Mars. They're not from the moon. They've always been here.
I
But how do
agree.
you keep a monkey under control? Sleight of hand with a peanut.
Mm-hmm.
They've always been under our feet. They've been in our oceans, underground. The only reason why man thinks they're up there in Mars, man has been conditioned to believe this.
You're right.
Has
You're right.
we
Misled.
was fed, force fed this crap, and it's like it's a bunch of shit.
Yeah, and everybody out there listening, Henry's right. I'm one hell of a researcher, and I've I've found tons of alien beings here. And then people go, "Oh, on the moon, on the moon." I found way more here. The moon we can't get close. There, of course we know there's structure up there, but I've found numerous ones here, and everybody who's watching, I'm sure knows and seen photos of that I've posted. So, these aliens are here, and just like Henry's saying. Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, they never have ever lived anyplace else. They've always lived here. All they did to the man was the sleight of hand with the peanut.
Yep,
We'll make them think we'll take off and go up in the air, and they'll think we went to heaven up there, to the moon, to Mars, and they've come right back down into our oceans, into our land, into caves, underground, the North Pole, the Arctic Circle.
yep,
There's big bases up there. That's why they don't want anybody going past that ice wall.
yep.
There's things on the other side of that ice wall, and I can tell you for a fact, there's things on the other side of that ice wall that would really baffle your mind. There's places up there, as cold as it is, that you can go to through this one place, and you can take off down to a pair of boxer shorts because it's 80 something degrees. It's a tropical jungle.
Yeah, in the middle of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yep.
and all these
and
countries
and
have a
that's
slice.
Admiral Byrd talks
Yep,
about that as
yep,
well. And here's this man, they use him to go all these places, and then they just throw him in a nut home after he comes out of there. It's like,
yeah.
we know you're covering it up, man. You know what I mean? It's That man had so much credibility. He was like the Jacques Cousteau guy, he was all over the place, for the military, and they had the military guys. They'd even send him with them, and if you listen to the story of it, it's just it's so hard to not believe, you
Yeah,
know.
he's seen mammoths and all kinds of stuff.
And he talks about what you're talking about, Henry, about
Yeah,
how it's a total different world over there, you know.
yeah, it's weird, and there is places that in this world there is a lot of areas that have not been explored by man.
Oh yeah,
That
definitely,
man has never stepped foot in, and you're
definitely.
going to find many cultures there that we heard about from the caveman, from the Neanderthal, that we have no clue about because we've
No,
never seen them, but they're there.
no,
And people just need, well, okay, back in 1972, they found a mammoth that still had most of its skin. And that was right here in the Midwest.
jeez.
Now,
I've found a mammoth on Google Earth and snapped pictures of it, and it's actually on my Facebook page, way down in my pictures, and there's actually when you
put a charger
zoom
on that.
in and you look, you see the mammoth, you can totally tell that's what it is, and then you see alien beings standing around as well with these weird shaped heads.
Yeah, I mean, how is this mammoth? They found one here in the Midwest. It still had most of its hair, most of its skin. Them things are huge. They ain't like a little ant or a flea.
Yep,
Where had this thing been, and when was the last time it was seen alive walking?
yep,
Where did it come from?
hmm
And that's the thing they ain't talking about, not counting all the stuff they're trying to bring back
yep,
that nobody's even talking about.
yep. And then they can oh, it's instinct. Well, it ain't instinct because there's a lot of places in this world that nobody even puts their foot down at.
Yeah,
So
a lot of people's never
what's
been
over
there.
there? You know what I mean? What's living there? you know.
Yeah, it's like they don't get it. That's
Mm-hmm.
like they sent me back to a place in time, and these scientists got together, these brains
Yep.
decided that they wanted to do something special. They hadn't come up with nothing. So they sent me back to a place in time. I went there. I didn't know what the hell I was going there for, but they told me to go there and observe and come back and report.
Yep.
I went there. I seen a man talking to a fiery bush. I heard somebody talking back to him.
Mm-hmm.
I listened. I went back and reported. You know what it was? It was the precursor. That's how they come up with your doorbell camera.
Yep.
People that's got the phone that owns the house can see you, but you can't see them. But you can talk to them and they can talk to you.
yep.
That's where they come up with this shit.
Yep.
It's some more of alien technology. I mean,
mm-hmm.
a lot of people tell you different, but that's basically what it is.
Yep.
And everything we've ever gotten is alien technology.
Yeah, cell phones and and just all kinds of shit. It's
It's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things that if you want to know a lot of stuff, it's right in front of your face.
Mm-hmm.
They put it out there in plain sight.
Yeah,
They want to keep
that's
the knowledge
actually
from you.
one of the best hiding places there is.
Yeah,
I was married years ago to my ex-wife, and I would set stuff down right on the table or right on the end of the couch, and she would never even see it. And I'm like, I can't believe that she is not seeing that right in front of her face.
yeah, you can hide stuff right in front of somebody's face.
Yeah, and they just don't acknowledge it because I guess maybe they don't think it would be there. I don't know. You know?
But it's crazy some of the things that was going on. Some of the breeding programs that we was involved with watching, and well, I'll give you a for instance. In 2001, my dad passed away.
Mhm.
Not that I was sad about it, because I wasn't. I was outside on the porch that night, had the porch light on. My uncles come out. They was like, "You doing okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing okay." I said, "Just waiting for him to get the body out of here." I said, "But I do got a question. See that bug over there? I've never seen one of those. What the hell is it?" They got a name for it now. First time I'd ever seen one. It would fly like a hummingbird. It looked like a moth, but it had a hummingbird bill that could go deep into flowers.
Mm-hmm.
It could fly forward, backwards, up, down, sideways. For years, I asked everybody, and everybody's like, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about." Next thing you know, it shows up in the conservation book here when nobody else had ever seen one.
Yep.
So, there was weird breeding programs going on with things that they was crossbreeding back then that I got to see that, well, I hate to say this because a lot of people's going to be offended, but I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Say it.
Look at pictures of me and you when we were kids growing up, because you're in that 50 area. Look at some of the pictures of some of these kids nowadays. Have you noticed how their ears are out away from their head?
Yep.
There's some weird things going on. I told several people, I said, it's part of those breeding programs. I said, don't ask me what, why, but look at the people from the 50s. There was people there that was 18 years old and they looked like they was in their 40s.
Yep.
It's all about the genetics,
Yep.
and they're
Mm-hmm.
changing everything.
Yep.
They've been doing that for years, but you would tell people when they would take me sometimes, because I was in these programs for a long time, I would be grabbed like at the store, at a laundromat. I'd be there with my mom. Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. These guys would just show up in the bathroom or in the hallway, grab me. To me, it only seemed like I'd been gone maybe a year, but in real time, mom's time, it was only one day. And I didn't age like everybody else did. Even today, the reason I'm an asset, besides all the information I carry, all the training, if I walked up to your house and knocked on your door, I could talk to anybody. Nobody would suspect me. Nobody would be nervous around me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Because some of the stuff they had me do that I will never talk about was bad. But I was forced to. It's either that or they shut me down.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean shoot me with a gun.
Right.
No. They push a button, I'm on the ground.
Is it
I
stuff?
can't move.
Is it stuff that haunts your conscience?
Nope.
Okay.
It's this thing inside of me.
Okay. No, like when I was a kid, I killed a kitten, and I don't know what the hell I was thinking and why I did it, but it stays on my conscience. You know.
Yeah, it's weird because there was everything led about these programs started out with a haunted house. Then it went from my mom and my grandma wanting something that they got. They took two uncles that had died, put their spirit inside of me. Then they took this old man and put him inside of me. So I got three different people besides myself. It gets pretty damn crowded. That takes care of me. Whatever the case comes up, if I don't take care of it, this one will step forward and take care of it. If that one don't step forward, the other two will.
So it's like you have four spirits in you
Yeah,
because you got yourself and then three others.
three others.
Wow.
And a lot of people say that's crazy. No, it ain't. Go look up Billy Shears, Paul McCartney's conspiracy.
Well,
The fake Paul McCartney, we call him Foul. He simply stated on David Letterman and all these talk shows, well, I don't feel like Paul McCartney, but when I get ready to go to concert, I hope and pray and talk, and he just comes forward and does the concert, then he leaves.
well,
So the same thing they've been doing for years, all comes from these projects. They do that because they got rid of the real one and replaced him with a fake, but they put the spirit in him so he can still sing. But if you look at the old 1964 to 66 music, they do not sound alike. They don't look alike. If you know what you're looking for, they do not look alike.
Mm-hmm.
Paul McCartney, the real James Paul, his eyebrows went up and like a hook. His eyes were droopy from this by the nose down to the cheek. They were slanted. And this new one, the only way he can get them eyebrows up like that and halfway come close, he has to raise his eyebrows up on purpose and hold them there. He does not sound like the real Paul. The real Paul played a guitar and never looked. The old one never looked.
Yep.
He had them memorized on that left-handed
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Memorize. Mm-hmm.
And like I said, all this stuff was because of these projects. It all had something to do with,
I noticed it, Henry, about at least I thought I did when if you recall before Trump was president again
yeah,
and he got shot at.
yeah,
It seemed like after he got shot at, when you viewed him on TV, he looked like a total different person. His skin did and shit. I'm like,
yeah.
that don't even look like Trump.
And explain this: 2 weeks after he supposedly the first time he got shot at, got hit in the ear.
Hmm.
Why wasn't there a scar or anything on that ear?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's what I'm
The,
saying. It was like almost like it's a total different person now.
yeah, like a stand-in.
Hmm.
The Beatles even had stand-ins.
Hmm.
A lot of people did. See, a lot of people don't realize. They think, okay, somebody come up with this. Yeah, it's all coming from the Philadelphia experiment.
Yep.
All them projects, anything that you see that's crazy going on, comes from there.
Yeah.
That's where it all originates from. They, it's like I said, I didn't age until I hit 40.
Yep.
I mean, at 25 years old, I'd go in to buy a pack of cigarettes or a beer, and they'd card me. I'd go to watch a movie at a theater, they'd card me.
Yep.
And, I'm not a very big person, even today,
Yep.
but I didn't start aging like everybody else did.
Yep. I got carded a year ago. All the guys I went to school with, most of them, almost all of them, have gray hair and they look a lot older than me. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And
Well,
even the women, I'm like, oh my gosh, man, I dated her and now she looks like she could be my grandmother. What the fuck?
that's just weird.
Yeah.
Well, explain this one here, too. In these projects, because they sent me back in time through different times, there used to be these bells
Hmm.
that could cure anything just by the tone of them ringing. Why'd they destroy them all?
Yeah. Hmm.
You know, there's lots of stuff that people don't realize that they've taken away. That's like changing history. That's easy. That's the simplest thing in the world, and nobody will catch on.
Hmm.
And I'll explain that one. Anybody that's around our age remember Scooby Doo, um, Speed Racer? There was little things that you would notice,
Yup.
like the big M on the car,
Hmm.
Scooby Doo having certain spots, certain places.
Yep.
You let them see that. Then you go to the next day and you go back in time to the day before. You change that character. It's called the Mandela effect.
Okay. I've
Then
heard
you
that.
come back to this time and somebody says, "Hey, did you see Scooby Doo? Yeah, did you count the spots on him? Well, yeah, he only had 4 spots. No, he didn't. He's got 6. No, 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 no. I counted them the other day. You better recount. He has 6. But until somebody goes back and pulls an old video and brings it up and counts them, they have no clue.
Yeah, they have no clue. They don't.
Yeah, it,
They don't recall of what he used to and look like and all that. Hmm.
it's the little things that has been changed and done. Um, like I remember the real Mandela was put in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then they come out when my daughter was in school and they said, "Oh, Mandela was never in prison." Yeah, he was. And she brought home her books and it said in there he never went to prison. I was like, that ain't true.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled her up an old photo and showed her where he was in prison.
Oh.
So I mean, what the hell are they teaching our kids? And
Yeah,
it's
they
squirrely.
try to change shit and not, you know, and people think, okay, they go with what they're saying when if they actually research, they would see that they change in it, that
Yeah, and that's like
manipulating it like it's like it never happened, and or people aren't going to think about the past and they're going to forget it and go on with the new. You know,
yeah, cause
I've had issues where I've talked to my niece and nephew and would tell them stuff, and they go, "What?" You think I was crazy, and I'm like, "Yeah, really. That's when I was younger." And I'm like,
yeah,
"We never had TVs. We had a black and white TV." And they're like, "What? Bullshit." I'm like, "I'm telling you, we didn't have flat screens and cell phones." And they look at me like I'm stupid.
yeah, and that's like if you tell them that they had payphones. Until you
Yeah.
show them one, they think you're crazy.
Yeah, they think I was stupid. And I'm like, I'm telling you, we did not have cell phones, man.
No,
I'm like, cell phones, way back in the, when I was young, they didn't have that. Didn't have PlayStation games. They had Nintendo, and
yeah,
you look like a little ball going across the thing, and they're just
yeah,
laughing
Pong.
at me like I'm stupid and like I'm playing them, and I'm like, jeez,
But the
so
thing,
it's forgotten. It's this newer generation doesn't even know. You know what I mean?
it's like we skipped 10 years.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that either. But the
Mm-mm.
other thing that these people better realize is, dude, you don't have to control nobody.
Yeah.
All you have to do is take away what they crave doing,
Yep.
which is video games. They'll
Mm.
kill each other
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and
Definitely.
they'll kill everybody around them.
Definitely.
So they don't have to kill you.
Yep.
They'll let you kill off each other.
Yep.
And that's like they're bringing in all these drone things, these like dogs, and now they even got these men and women that you don't have to have a wife. They recommend you don't have a wife. Have one of them.
Yep.
It's like, what are you all up to? Why are you trying to stop the population?
Yeah, you got China now making these sex dolls that were rubber
Yeah,
sex dolls. They
yeah,
weren't blow up dolls, and now
no,
they're turning them into robots where they
yeah,
can talk and please the person. I'm like,
yeah,
oh
and they
my
even walk and meet you at the
gosh,
door,
yeah. They
and
showed
all
one
that
at the
comes.
mall, and she was greeting people as they were walking by, and she was moving. I'm like, whoa, And I
I,
thought, okay, well, next is going to be the military is going to take those robots and enhance them, and you know what I mean. And now,
yep.
and then control's going to really be controlled. You know what I
Well,
mean?
it's, you worried back a long time ago about. We'll just use Russia. That the Russian women spies, in order to get information, they would sleep with an American spy and kill him when she was done with him getting information and giving him sex. She'd kill him.
Yeah.
That's where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't see this. That's like I was telling you earlier about they've been finding human meat in a hamburger, like at McDonald's and places.
Yep.
You don't have to turn a zombie into a zombie like you see on TV. If you feed a person long enough a certain type of meat,
They're going to crave it.
they're going to crave it. There's your zombie. Because the real zombies that they have in Haiti, all that is where they give them a puffer fish,
Yep.
the sex organ. They give them that. It damn near kills them, puts them under so far. Then the guy goes and digs them up and takes them across the island and makes them work on a farm.
Yep.
Then, after so long a period of time, you're turned loose and you'll wander back eventually to where you lived,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not right in the head.
Yep.
And they've been doing that for years. They tell on that movie, The Serpent and the Rainbow, that he was the one who discovered that. Dude, the government is so far ahead of people. If you can catch a dog man and make it just randomly just kill everybody,
Oh,
Imagine what they can do. They even got
yeah.
mosquitoes now. I mean, this is the kind of stuff they was working on. Who do you think they was trying that shit out on?
Yep.
The people there,
Yep.
kids. What they do with the bodies? Fed them.
Yeah.
How do you get rid of them? Feed them.
Yes.
Dog man's hungry. These things aren't. They're basically watchdogs, but they have been turned into killers. The normal ones are not killers. They're just like a wolf or anything else. They just stand on two legs. They have hands. They do think.
Mm.
They will reason a problem out.
Yep.
And I can tell you for a fact, I got them around here, and one of them is the one that I saved. Me and him was both going to be put down because I wasn't following orders too good and doing exactly what they wanted. They was going to have them kill me, and then they was going to kill that one that wouldn't kill. And I'm telling you, I have seen them here, and I know for a fact that one I saved is here. He is out here. I have seen him. Now, does he come over and say, "Hey, you want a cup of tea?" No. Do I want to go have a cup of tea with him? No. I respect his place. He respects mine. I put turkey bones out, deer bones. He takes them. Did he come up and thank me? Well, sort of in a way, but he don't say thank you. It's more like a casual greeting, like, I see you. I found what you put out for me. Go on.
So it's like for all these people's stories that are out there, and here's Henry, and he's gifting the dog man.
Yeah. My
So yes,
neighbor over
I just
there,
want to make that clear because I had a friend, I have a friend that I told him gift him because he's like having interactions with the dog man. And I'm like, just gift him. Next time he comes to your house, put some food outside. He's like, oh hell no, my wife will trip. And I'm like, okay, well I'm just saying. And he's like, yeah, you're making a point though. He's like, I don't even know of anybody that's gifted a dog man. Henry has.
yeah, I put turkeys and stuff out, like when I get done with Thanksgiving, I put the waste of them in a trash bag and throw it away. I take it down to the end of the property and dump it out, and they come up and clean it up. Now, my
Nice.
neighbor over here that lives next door to me, they built a great big machine shed over at his son's house, which is the third house away from me,
Mm-hmm.
second house. Before they built it, I had people that come here, friends, family, and just as a joke, I'd be like, "Hey, you see them orange eyes over there?
Yep.
What do you think that is?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we don't know. What's it doing? I said, just every time I come out to smoke, it's out here watching me,
Yep.
and there'd be 5 or 6 of them.
Jeez.
I didn't tell my neighbors. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want them to think I was nuts.
No.
So one day, his son just recently went deer hunting. He went back there, climbed up in a tree, and around here they use high-powered rifles. He climbs up in the stand, and he hears something coming barreling through those woods straight for him. He freezes. He said, I could not see it, but Todd, it was under there. I'm telling you, it was under there. It was under the top of that deer stand.
No.
It was under there. I could not see it. He said, but I could hear it whooping. I said, whooping? What do you mean? He goes, sniffing. I was like, okay, yeah, I know what it is. But what is it? I said, that's just a great big wolf. I said, remember I told you I've been seeing them around here. I wasn't going to tell him what I thought it was, what I knew it was.
Mm-hmm.
His wife goes to work one night, come home real late. She turned off the main highway on the little back road, coming home on the back roads. She come to the stop sign to make the turn, and there was a whole pack of them. These things were so big, they was on 4 feet, walking around the car, circling, would not move. When one would move out in front, the other one would be right there taking its place. So she could not move. These things were so big that looking through her front window, there's an engine compartment. In front of it, you could see 10 inch of that dogman's back, and he was on 4 legs. And she did not get it. She come over and asked me, she goes, I heard you talking to my husband. Yeah. She goes, what are these things? I said, just big wolves. Don't shoot at them. Do not try to run over one. Just wait for them to move and go. Do not shoot at one when you see it. You do, you won't make it to see the next day. They ain't trying to harm you. They're just telling you, we're here. We want to walk in the way. You will wait, or we'll have problems.
Yep. Mhm.
You know, it's like,
And those are the older dogmen you're talking about.
yeah,
The ones that,
that's the
okay, the
originals.
ones that ain't been messed with. I got you.
No.
Okay, cool.
So the neighbor lady, this kid's mom, she goes to town one day, and she said that she looked across the field and she seen a great big old coyote. I said, really? Okay. She goes, it was the prettiest black you ever seen. I said, coyotes ain't black. I said, let me send you a picture that I'm going to pull off the internet. Tell me if it looks like this. Send it to her.
Certainly ain't a coyote.
Yeah. She goes, well, what? My God, what is it? I said, well, it's just a big old wolf. She didn't pay attention to the hands on this thing.
Mhm.
But I'm telling you, a lot of people, when you see one on all fours, you'll see it across the field or in the woods. But if you ever see one up close, they look just like a wolf. There is basically, I mean, there might be a few modifications,
Mhm.
but basically, you'll mistake it for a wolf until it stands up
Yep.
and it opens its hands. When it spreads its fingers, that's when you'll know. Otherwise, you may not even, you may have seen what you thought was a wolf. It was not a wolf. These things don't, have 50,000 fangs. They will look just like a regular wolf until they stand up.
Yep.
That's when you'll notice it and they walk. And yeah, you will hear the popping and cracking
Mhm.
when they stand up. But once they're up, you don't hear that popping and cracking.
Huh.
And the best thing I can say is if you would stretch a Shetland pony out about 3 to 4 foot longer, the dog man would be about the same height on four legs as a pony. I mean, 600 pounds. Yeah, that's probably a small one. When they stand up on two legs, they can range anywhere from 6 foot to 10.
Yeah, so it's like a horse standing
Yeah,
up on two legs, but with bigger arms and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, let me tell you something. These things are genetically made to protect and kill.
Yeah. Ooh.
So, you know, just say me and you go to the gym and we just go there because we just want to be toned. And all of a sudden, somebody comes in that's taking a shortcut. They took steroids.
Mhm.
Tell them you don't like the color of their car and see what happens. People on steroids goes nuts. These
Oh
things have
yeah.
been messed with. It don't take nothing to set one off.
Mm,
It don't even see you.
I had a friend that was on that when we were younger, and he was a little guy, and he was just a little guy, little head, little arms, little short, little dude, and he didn't like being called little, and he started going to the gym and met a guy and got on steroids. And
Oh,
he was so big. He had titties like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he
geez.
was huge. Not tall, but he was huge. And I I said to him one day, I haven't seen him for like a year, and then I ran into him and I said, "You still on that shit?" He goes, "No, man." He goes, "My wife divorced me, and I'm probably gonna go to prison for a while." And I'm like, "Why?" And he goes, "Well, when you're not taking them, you get attitudes." And
Uh huh.
he said, I picked her up and threw her through the front window. I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You get these attitudes and these urges to fuck shit up, man, to freak out." And I'm like, "Wow."
You know the thing though that people I guess don't really get about the Montauk boys, which I was part of that, is they're always going on about, well, where are the bodies? Dude, they were food. The ones that didn't make it, the ones that was lost in hyperspace, you ain't gonna find those.
Yeah.
Eventually, they're gonna fall to the ground, but when they do, it's just gonna be pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, you ain't gonna find those people. Now, the other thing I will tell you about this here is, I laugh because all these people go there, and well, we can only go down to the water line,
Mm-hmm.
dude. It's still going on there. It's a joke because here's the joke: when I was there, and they knew somebody was coming in late at night, and we was working, there would be kids and people walking around inside that building, and we was there. They could not see us. They'd walk right past us, and we was working.
Wow.
All they would see was what we wanted them to see, which was an old, rundown building.
Wow. So it was like you're invisible,
Not invisible, but camouflaged.
camouflaged. Okay.
We was still there
Yep.
doing our work. They could not see us. It was like we blended into everything. But a lot of people don't understand this.
Was it a clothes you put on or anything, or
No, it was a cloaking device that was activated,
to where
and
you could cloak to be where people couldn't see you?
yeah, you was basically under like a shroud. You was just people couldn't see you. They
Wow.
couldn't bump into you. They would just walk around like it was an empty room, and we would be there working, and they sometimes would walk right through you.
Wow.
But that's what people don't understand either. They was like, well, we was there and such. Yeah, and I was too.
Huh.
Well, just where was you at? I was here. I know
Yeah.
where you was at. You walked through me about 3 times.
Oh shit.
You know, and there was so many things that was going on that is beyond people's grasp. They didn't open doors to walk. They didn't have to open doors. That place was like a funhouse effect.
Oh shit.
When we was working, we never opened doors. You went through them.
Yeah, you could just walk through it then.
Yeah,
Wow.
you just slid through like it was paper, like it was just a curtain.
Wow.
And people still won't get it. You know, a lot of people went up there at nighttime to that, what they call Camp Hero, and they say, well, we see lights on. Well, yeah, you're going to see lights on. It's still active. It's still going on. But oh no, you can't get down. Yeah, you can. You just don't know how to do it. That stuff is still going on. It just went deeper. I
Damn.
was in some of the lowest places in there, and we would be laughing. People walking on the floor above us, and we was watching them. They had no clue. But again, like I said, it had so many effects that a lot of them killed themselves off, and the few that haven't tried to bond up, and they're so scatterbrained it ain't funny. But it's one of those things that,
You're one of the last ones left there, Henry.
well, I'm one of the. I was hoping I wasn't the only one of my kind out here, but I have not run onto somebody else like me that has went through everything that I went through. It's kind of like in you go through grade school, you have these friends. Then you go to middle school. Those friends drop off and find other friends, and you find other friends.
Oh,
Then you go to high school and you drop those friends, and you got other friends.
oh,
That's the way these projects was.
mhm.
And these people just need to be careful because these doctors you're going to, dude, they can be the doctor that delivered you, but they'll also be the same doctor if they're from there that be so nice to you, and they'll take your kids. They'll make you a deal. If not, they'll just take your kids, and your kids will just be gone. And nobody does nothing about it. Then, me, I done everything I was supposed to do. And a lot of people would say that's wrong if they knew exactly the other stuff that I won't talk about, but yet I'm still punished for it. I can't go out here and do everything everybody else does. I have to stay hid in the shadows. I have to live like a freaking hermit.
Jeez.
I am not being allowed to live. The only thing that's keeping me alive is my wife and my dog. Other than that, I can't take off and go like everybody else does. I can't go without watching over my shoulder.
Yeah.
And I really didn't know what love was until I got married. And I'm still learning
Mhm. And I
because
believe
of,
that because you talked how your dad was and all that, and
yeah, and they
how
didn't
the
care,
family was. Hmm.
you know, and it's weird to try to cope. And a lot of people said, well, it'd be easier. You're away from it now. No, it ain't. It's having PTSD from this shit.
Oh yeah, it's
You,
it's the worst. You know, a lot of people I talk to have like encounters and stuff, and they talk about the after effects.
yeah,
It's not just the encounter; it's
no.
what comes afterward. You know,
Yeah, your brain's trying to process it.
yeah, your brain's trying to process it. You're having nightmares. It's all this shit. You're fighting with your spouse because, like Swamp and his wife. They're she doesn't want him to go back out there. He wants to find out what's going on. He wants revenge. She's scared to shit. So their relationship is just tore up. She don't want to go anywhere in the woods, and they used to go places in the woods and stuff, and it's the after effect.
Yeah,
you
you
know
know, and
People don't
even
realize that, and they like, oh, I want to encounter,
no, you don't.
you don't. There's a
No,
lot goes with it, man.
yeah, because
A
it don't
lot.
stop. It keeps happening.
And there's a lot of afterward. It's not just the encounter, it's what happens afterward as well.
Yeah, because you take the man that goes to the woods, like this friend of mine that loved to go to the woods until he's seen something,
Mm-hmm.
and it scared that man so bad he can't go to the woods anymore.
In the
That
woods.
poor guy is looking over his shoulder constantly.
And the woods were his peace and pride. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? To all of us, it's like that. We go out there and it's like, ah, away from all this bullshit, and look at the birds and the smell the pretty smells and this and that, and now it's just plain out dangerous.
yeah, that's like here's a thing that happened, and this was while I was in the projects, and I was in between being gone.
Hmm.
My parents found out that my uncle gave me a job, and I went to cut corn out of beans. The guy that my uncle worked for called me into his office in his home, and I walked in there, and he goes, "If you can hold this hoe, this uh, bean knife,
Go.
then you got the job." The bean knife was bigger than me, so
Shit.
I picked it up, and he goes, "Now put it to the ground, and then pick it back up over your head." I can do it. He goes, "You're hired. You be working by yourself." Okay. As soon as my mom and dad found out I got the job, they took my money and was going to make me buy my sister's school clothes, which they did. But I told this guy, I said, I will not miss a day for nothing. I will work every day,
Go.
8, 10 hour day.
Hmm.
But you have to take me to the field and bring me back.
Hmm.
No problem. I said, now the other thing is, sir, I'm wanting to buy a mini bike. I'm poor. That's the reason I want to work, because I can make money to buy my school clothes and buy me this mini bike for $100.
Go.
So I went to work. There was at my uncle's, which is right across the lake between him and his boss's house. I was always fishing there. Well, nobody told me. I had no clue. I've been over there fishing. I seen something at the corner of my eye, so it caught my attention, and I looked. There was two dog men coming across the levee toward the house. I hollered at my uncle. My uncle come out there, and he goes, "Hey, so I just got a brand new 30-30. Watch this." He opened the truck door, and the whole time these things just kept coming. He pulled it out and shot right over their heads. Them dog men give a growl, turned, run down the side of the levee, jumped over the fence, and I said, dude, you just started something we ain't never going to get out of.
Oh, yeah.
It started. The next night, I had my mini bike. I'd picked it up and brought it up there at my uncle's and had been riding. His boss flies in the driveway. I walk up there to overhear what they was talking about. He goes, I need you two to get in the truck and go to these people's house and check on them. Nobody's seen them. Okay. So we get in the truck, turn left out of the driveway, turn left the next corner, down about a mile, turn left in the people's driveway. When we pulled in, the picture window was busted out completely. The curtains were torn out, hanging out into the yard. The house looked like somebody set a bomb off inside of it. Blood, hair, clothes. And I won't tell you about some of the other stuff we've seen that was laying there that was blood material. They got attacked. We called the sheriff. Sheriff come out. He goes, you guys didn't touch them, did you? No. Come out there, couldn't find them. We followed them. And it's probably about 300 yards maybe in the forest. And then they found what was left of them. I started to tell them what I'd seen the day before. My uncle looked at me and said, shut up. I kept my mouth shut. They was like, damn coy dogs, probably. What's a coy dog? Well, that's a regular house dog that's crossed with a coyote. Well, I ain't never heard of such a damn thing. I was kind of bloated off. We left.
I don't think that would have did that.
No. It yanked these people right out through that picture window. And then took them back in and just mopped the floor with them. I mean, there was hair, blood, chunks of meat. A couple of days later, the boss come over and told us to go check on these other people. So we went to their house. Couldn't find them. Nothing looked like it was disturbed, but that little tractor was gone. The tractor had a hog carrier on the back, which was like a square cage made out of hog panels, and they put it on a hay lift on a 3-point hitch. He had took the top off of it, and the woman would sit back there, and they'd put buckets back there, and they'd go feed the cows. So, again, we called the cops. Cops come out, sheriff, walk with us. We walked with them. Yeah. About 2 city blocks, there was the tractor off in a ravine. Back, maybe like a half a block or a block from the tractor coming backwards, there was a big, looked like a fight mark, like something had been fighting. Blood there, hair, pieces of clothes, pieces of skin. They chalked that one up too. Coy dogs pulled the woman out of the hog crate and pulled the guy off the tractor. First of all, must have been a damn big coy dog to lift that woman out of that crate and lift that guy over the tractor off.
Oh, man.
There ain't no damn way. No. And again, I was going to say something. My uncle told me to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, he's telling you to be quiet. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, don't get us involved. The next, probably the following week, another guy went missing and his wife. They went into the ferrying house to check on the little pigs at night. They got killed and every one of the hogs got slaughtered. They couldn't say nothing about that one because the things that went and got them come through each end of the hog ferrying house, which was a big long building, and baby pigs and big pigs on both sides in crates. And something tore the end door off and the front door off and basically caught them in between. Yeah. And just, I mean, slaughtered them, slaughtered the hogs. Wow. That year, there was several hundred head of sheep, pigs, and cattle slaughtered. These big trucks come in and pick them up. Now, whether they were dead, I don't know. But they went past the trailer and the guys pulled into our driveway. Y'all keep your damn mouth shut, or you could end up like them other people. We turn them back loose.
Whoa.
To this day, if I told you where this place is at and you used to go there on a Sunday, every Sunday, rain, sleet, nor shine, these boys all gather up in that farm community, and they're out there with their high-powered rifles, coy dog hunting. Ain't no damn coy dogs. Whatever it was had hands and ripped them people out of them places.
Oh shit.
And they're so scared they're going to come back that they kill anything that's moving.
Jeez.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, you guys have no clue. It was not no coy dog. It was not no coyote.
Mm-hmm.
These things were, I seen them. My
Mm-hmm.
uncle seen them. They come in, they was pissed off at my uncle because my uncle shot at them.
Yep.
My aunt had a Doberman in that shed. And she was good to me. She never bothered me. Hell, she'd come in the house and sat with me. We was over taking care of the sheep, bedding them down that night. We told her, don't go outside to feed that dog. When we come home, we'll bring her in. Phone rang. We answered it. She said, that dog just tried to attack me. What dog? Her dog, the Doberman. Are you sure? So we went over there. Thought, okay, Doberman went crazy or something. Went over there. Doberman was gone.
Oh.
There was blood inside that shed. That shed was not locked. Something went in there, killed that dog, and then took off with the body. The next day, the head was ripped off of that dog and hanging on the post in front of the house.
Whoa.
That was a warning.
Yep.
That was a do not aim a gun at me, do not shoot at me, or this could be your head.
There they exactly.
And
Jeez.
as quickly as all this went down, it was all swept up. The houses were burnt to the ground, dug a big hole, pushed them houses in. Here's the kicker. There was 2 cemeteries in that big block. If I took you to this place today, you could never tell there had been a house there. You couldn't tell there'd ever been machinery sheds or anything because it was wiped clean and replanted.
Wow.
Now, how do they pick people to sick them on? That I don't know. But they do pick people to, for whatever reason, a community. Or it can be just 2 people or 3 people.
They're a person, yeah, and
Yeah,
get
they
them.
can just randomly pick. And, well, here's the game tonight.
Yeah,
And they take them.
and then those people sit around Henry and the rest of their life figuring the ones that did survive thinking, why am I been attacked?
Yeah.
You know what I
And by
mean?
what?
And they
You
have no
know?
clue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't get it. And it's like, I don't know why they do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Why? And here's the funny thing is, you'll never see these things transported in. But what you will hear is clank, clank. When you hear that, you best be getting your ass hit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's a
Because,
metal sound. Yep.
yeah, they're not being trucked in. They're
Mm-hmm.
not being brought in on a little car. They
Could
are
be a
being,
porthole or
yes, transported.
mm-hmm.
And that's what that clink clink is.
Yep.
It's an echo.
Jeez.
That's also how they call them back. They don't go out there and whistle for them. Here, Poochie Poochie. No.
Mm-hmm.
They hear that clink clink. You best come back because if we have to go look for you, we'll put you down.
Yep.
And they will come back and they will go in and they will be gone. Just and you'll hear a lot of people talk about clink clink,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and that's what it is. They're being teleported and kicked out to do a job. When you hear the clink clink, you better watch out because they're there to clean house.
Yep.
If you're there, you're goner.
Yeah. Hey Henry, we're running out of time, so let's do a part 2 to this.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, hang on. Don't hang up.
Okay. Do I got enough time to smoke?
Uh,